Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of SimAirport. We are playing the Satellites Airport on the Edge branch, and we are now making a fair bit of money. Our profit and loss for the last kind of day, let's say last day, was actually pretty good. And I think this included a fair bit of money that went to the bank and so on and so on and so on. So I think the thing that we need to do now, it is kind of functioning. There's obviously a lot of stuff that we need to improve. We're doing a fair bit of research, but I think the piece that I want to get done now is actually our final main terminal design, which at least the foundation of it. So I'm going to start just quickly going into the into the planning view. As you can see, that was kind of the idea. Whether we need to run it as much as this, I don't know. Let's quickly see. What was our, if we go to planning, and if we grab just another kind of color that we have over here, what was our length over here? So we had a 25 one. So we will want to do something fairly similar over here. So I'll grab the yellow and we'll fill out this with like 1, 2, 3. So we've got a similar setup right there. What I'm interested in is practically running it straight through there. We'll grab this same color. So now 25 by whatever, all the way up to there. So that is pretty huge, 80. And over there. Okay, so this is going to be our final main terminal building. The idea is that this entire area here will become check-in. And this entire area here will be baggage claim. And then this section here will be security with drop-downs to make tunnels to go to the various other areas. Okay, so that's what we're gonna start going at. I think with our money the way it is, let's quickly have a look at what kind of construction we can start with immediately. And I'm kind of wondering whether we start this side. No, that's pretty expensive. Or alternatively, we just start by slowly dragging it over through here. That is also pretty expensive. I think this side is probably good enough, but we're going to need to wait for a little bit more money. There's at least $1 million that's required to get that done. How's things going in terms of flights? There is a late flight over there at A4, interestingly enough, but it's 124 people, so it is starting to get pretty sizable, some of these. Let's pause the game quickly. I want to see. Actual arrival was late. Okay, so maybe what we're starting to see is that that our scheduling is becoming a little bit of a problem. We can't actually squeeze them through the runway anymore. The big planes are okay, but all of these smaller planes are kind of, well, I don't know. There's not that many that's arriving in the same slot, actually. But yes, there is certainly times of the day where nothing is landing or departing, like this time, like solid hours that nothing is supposed to happen. And then in a certain little segment, there is departures, arrivals. So what we need to do is we need to just stagger this thing, stagger the hell out of this thing. But I don't know. Oh, time snapping 1 minute. That's quite interesting. We're doing 10-minute snaps at the moment. Okay. I thought it was a little bit bigger chunks. So we could do pretty decent stuff then if we do that. But anyway, it's so full that I don't think we're going to be able to do much. I'm kind of tempted. Okay, so we've got some research done. So the construction research is done. We don't do escalators just yet. Land expansion is now available. Advanced security is in there, so we've linked those up already. Multi-access, multi-drop-off and pick-up, operations 2, standby gates. These kind of things is stuff that we want to do. Whether lower income tax is a thing that we need, I don't quite know whether that's worth it. The cash at least. Let's get started on that anyway. We need some of these things, but I don't want to build additional stuff. I'm just trying to save some money so we can actually get our stuff going, our construction over here going. A piece that we could start looking at is actually the road. Oh no, but I think what we'll need to do is we'll need to build. Let's see where this is. This actually working pretty well. So what we're going to need to do, in my view, is and I don't know whether we're actually going to need the multi-level over here. We probably don't. So I'm keen that we get this section built so that we can build a new fence line. I think that's kind of the plan for us. That is kind of the plan for us. Okay. We are getting a decent amount of money and our construction workers aren't doing anything. I may just start a piece. So let's put on this. Let's get our foundation tool. And let's see what we can start with on this kind of money. That is a lot. So let's just do like 10 like so for now. And we'll get the guys to start the construction on that. And then what I want to do is let's do this stretch through here. You know, something like that. So that we can do the fence, move the fence. I want to move the fence. I also want to do this little slither through here. It's going to help us to move the fence at least. So let's do that. Okay, so we spent a lot of cash now. But at least that'll start this. So there's not that much left for us to construct. Well, it's a fair bit. But probably in the next day we should have enough money to do that. Okay, all of that is going along well. I do want to move the fence. Once that's in place, the fence can move and we can start looking at our drop-off area. I hope this area is sufficient for that. Let's quickly go back and see what has happened. Most of our flights are in fact on time. There is very minor... See, something like that actually went well. The actual depart time was right on time, but they are doing pretty well. So I think what we could probably do is just expand that that timing a little bit. But yes, I think we can get ourselves to work. I think we'll quite easily get it to work. What we could have a look at, and we'll have to pause it before the end of the day. Okay, end of the day. Okay. Before the end of the day, I just want to quickly have a look at our flight schedule. So is there anything here? Could we potentially move one of these bigger flights? Can we grab this one, for instance, and move it? Oh, no, we can't actually. We can move it to the big ones. So maybe what I'll do is I'll move that down a little bit. Okay. I'll then move that down a little bit and we'll grab this one and we'll just slot it in something like that. Huh? Okay, now what we can do is we'll move this out a little bit. And I'm actually quite tempted to see if we do something like that, right? And we stagger it just a little bit and I move so one of these flights in there, okay, something like that, and then we just slowly start to move things through a little bit more, so it's just a little bit better in terms of what's happening all the time. So if we do something like that, for instance, we can move this up a little bit and that up a little bit, just to try and get them to be a little bit more friendly in terms of the spaces that we have. Can we move? We can actually move the small one over there, but I'd rather just move another big one in here. Yeah, something like that, for instance. And then what we'll do is we'll move some more of these small guys. Not too sure how exactly we're going to move it. But everything that we've moved over here now will at least give us a little bit more room. So actually that's okay. So let's do that. Let's bring that one kind of straight in there and we'll do something like that. And now what you see is there's a fair bit more stuff here. So if we then move that one all the way there, so there's like 2 in that slot. There's a bit of a gap there. I think it's pretty decent. What we could do is we could move it over just a little bit like that. Yeah, I think that worked quite well for what we're trying to do over there. The afternoon slots, however, is still pretty bad. Well, actually, not that much. Actually, what we'll do is we'll move these guys over here. Okay. Just to get it a little friendlier to what we're trying to achieve. So if we say do a little something like that, for instance, and we slot one of these over there and one of those over there, then what we'll do is we will start to move things around a little bit. The other thing we can do is we can push these out a little. Okay, and we can start running this one in there. We move that one down a little bit. We'll bring in another one over here. Something like that, for instance. And then this entire thing can start functioning a little bit better. Okay, something like this. Something like that. Let's slot them out a little bit. I don't want to have them exactly on top of one another. Every now and again having one on top of each other is not too bad. So that's a little bit more spaced out over there. We could even extend those boarding times a little bit, but I think just a little bit of a move around like that could already be pretty decent for us. Now let's do a similar thing over here. We'll move some of the bigger flights around. See if we can get something. Can we do? Oh, we can actually extend it. Ooh, I don't think it actually extends beyond. I don't know. I think that might be a little dangerous. So what I'd rather do is we can just move some of these smaller flights to the end of the day. Right, to those slots at the end of the day. And then what we'll do is we will start shifting them a little bit. So something like that. We'll move that. Yeah, we'll move it a little bit. Just like so. How many do we still have overlapping right here? We have a few that's overlapping right at that spot. So let's do a little bit of movement right there. Okay. So now it's starting to look a little bit better. But yes, what we're trying to do at least is get stuff to be happening all the time. So to really focusing on getting that stagger to work. I think that is about right for us. Actually, these we can stagger a little bit more too. Let's do something like that. Excellent. I think that's going to work quite well. And then question is, do we want to move some of those over? If what I'll do is I can grab something like that, slot it in here. Okay. And then what we'll do is we will move that one over. Something like this, huh? Geez, look at that. It's really looking good now. The only one I'm a little... Can we move that back a little? No, we cannot. So this one is pretty tight now. Oh, I see what we're doing here. Can we move these things over a little bit more? We probably can. Probably can. Let's move everything over one more or two more. Actually, if we space it just a little bit better like this, we have a little bit of a gap on everything, a big stagger. I think this stagger could help us. You can also see that there is some room for some additional flights potentially, and hopefully the stagger will make that work. But we have moved smaller flights onto the bigger stands now. Okay, so that's going to be our setup for the next day. So let's see how that goes. The end of the day has arrived. Our income is looking decent. Let's quickly see what's going on. If we look at, I can keep that going. So if we look at the profit and loss statement for yesterday, we've actually lost some money because of a massive amount of money on materials. The bank isn't costing us that much money, so I'm happy to keep the loan in place for the moment. Taxes is pretty low, so Was that because we've had a further drop in income tax, or we didn't have income tax because we are not, actually because we're not making any money. That is decent. So interesting, this income tax function on a day-to-day basis. So it's only a property tax that we've paid, and that's pretty low. We make a decent amount of money here. We probably make around, what is that? So let's add, say, 20 plus that is 300, 400, 400 and... yeah, 420 about, 420, 25 thereabouts is what we're making at the moment. I can just have a look down there. That's funny. That's really funny. So, and our expenses is predominantly due to materials. If it wasn't for materials, it would be a breeze. It would be a breeze. So excellent. Just get all of that going. We get some flights coming through today, and then we should be able to construct the rest of this. It's a pretty decent way of doing it. I think we are doing well. Let's dismantle some of these. We'll dismantle some of those. We won't dismantle that just for the minute. Okay, so now the flights are coming in a little bit differently. So they should have a little bit more gaps between them and things like that. So hopefully that means everything has just got a little less pressure on it, including the security, including everything else. So I just want to keep an eye and see that everybody is actually getting out of there in just the right amount of time. That's boarded. I think all of those are okay. We're really making better use of the runway now. Guys coming in, I'm thinking they're coming in early. There's a lot of gaps at the moment. We're running a few people through there. Money is rolling in. Let's have a look. Our early flights should all be pretty decent today. Did we have early arrivals on most of them? Early arrival. I love it when they all come in early. It really helps us to get them out on time, and then our actual departure times are way early, just early, way early, way early. That's good. That's good. It's looking good. It's looking good. I think the stagger is going to get us to that bonus. I think the stagger is going to be pretty good for us. Okay, now let's continue. Oh, the one thing that I wanted to pick up on now was get that fence in place. So just run the fence through there, then I'll delete the rest of this fence as soon as that's up and running. I'm going to grab the foundation and we'll start work on another slither. How much do we need for this? We pretty much have enough. We almost have enough for this, and it's just like midday. But I'm not sure we should be spending all of our cash. But I also don't want the guys not to be doing anything. Runway usage. Where's my terminal fees? Oh, there's some terminal fees coming in. Perfect. Okay, so let's start the next chunk. Come on, we're almost there. Okay, next chunk right there. Please run through that. This has been done. Okay, so what I can do is let's just have a quick look at the secure areas, protected sectors and things like that. Okay, that's fine. It should be fine. All of that's closed. So let's go ahead and dismantle this fence line, and there. Roads are pretty expensive, so we need a fair bit of money to get those roads working, but our terminal is growing pretty quickly. We're playing at a pretty decent speed. Let's quickly have a look at this. I think, guys, the stagger... Oh, no! 3 minutes late. No! Departure at 3:20. There's a few things. There's 2 departures at 3:20, and the rest of them all made it. And I kind of wonder whether... Oh, the game isn't kind of trolling me or something with these 2-minute stuff. That is a small little flight at A4, and it didn't get that last passenger through, and I don't quite know why. It got stuck at the pizza zone or something. I do kind of wonder whether we have people from which kind of flights we have people here pursuing which gates. B2, B1, B1, B2, B1. Okay. I want to just have a look. Give it a bit of time and then have a look at these guys. Are they all coming to the Bs? Or do we have any A gate guys that's hanging out at this spot? Obviously that's something that we'll fix as time goes by, but for the moment we'll have to see. Everybody seems to be pretty happy. That's been removed, so that's pretty good. We've got a decent amount of money. Yes, again, I would like us to get enough money to finish off this last piece without going into more debt, for instance. Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. But yeah, it's a shame that we're not able to... Ooh, what's happened over here? That's very late, guys. That's very late at B1. So we're not getting it there, but it's looking better than it used to look, actually. It is looking better than it used to look. It's a much more steady stream of passengers. It's also better on all of our other infrastructure, the security, the loading and the unloading with these little baggage cars. So all of that should be pretty good. We've got small planes and big planes and quite a decent mix. But yeah, we're not getting everybody in on time just yet. These should be working really well because they're right there. There's not a lot for them to do and get lost on while they wait. So it's an interesting one that we continue to struggle with that. Okay, we've got a fair bit of money again. So let's start. I'm not going to move our schedules again. Let's see where we ended up with. Oof. What was that? I'm assuming we did now pay. No, we couldn't have paid. Oh, we might have paid. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Day 22 taxes. We did in fact pay a 25% income tax. So we should have spent a little bit more money. We shouldn't have made any money. We should have leveled that out. That I should have stopped it 10 minutes before to check where we're standing so that we can spend the money so we don't pay the tax. Anyway, so you learn. So that's a tip for you guys. If you are doing it, make sure that you just overspend the cash. That is what you really need to be on about. Just overspend the cash every time. Okay, so let's get going. The guys can start building up on that. We'll grab the dismantle tool and we will trim back on these guys. Garbage is becoming an issue here, so all of our deliveries and our people trying to leave are not getting in because of garbage, so we'll make a whole different solution there. People are getting out now. Excellent, keep going, speedy. Okay, so we didn't achieve too much in this episode. We still got a few more minutes left, and I'm hoping we can at least get the rest of this built out. Where's my deliveries? Where's my construction crew? Come and do some stuff, guys. Oh, here they come. So they walk all the way around that way. Yeah, this terminal building is looking... I'm liking the idea of this kind of horseshoe-shaped terminal around the pickup and drop-off area. I hope there's enough space in here. It does look a little small to me. But we'll see about getting maybe a pass-by lane or something like that. If the guys are stopping, that there's actually a pass-by lane. We'll see if that is a possibility at least. It'll be interesting the way we can set that up. I think will work quite well. That is working. This is almost fully constructed now. Money is starting to come in again, though running little strips like this costs us a fair bit of money. Dismantling I don't believe costs us anything, and the wall itself I don't think costs anything, but but please correct me in the comments if that is the case. If we build it into multiple segments like this and they go and build walls in there, is that costing us more money or not? I don't quite know. If you do know, tell me. Please tell me. I just want to have a look here again. This is just B gates. Those obviously will be B gates. Anybody coming up here for the A gates? No. So that's fine. It seems to be working the way we want it to be working. That A gate people are hanging out over here, even though they don't have a cafe. I was a little worried that the cafe over here is going to attract them. But it seems like it's not actually happening. So I'm hoping that can sort itself out a little bit more. Early morning and we've already made a fair bit of money. I want to start the next little construction piece over here. Get a few more planes out. Terminal usage and the likes. Excellent. Nice, nice, nice. How are we doing? Is today looking better? Are we still... Yeah, everybody is still on track. Everybody is still on track. It's interesting when things start to become a bit of a problem. I don't quite always know when that is, but it does just start happening at some point during the day. Okay, foundation. Let's see. What can we do here? 110. 125. Go ahead. Go and do that one. Come on, guys. Do your construction bits and pieces over here. I would very much like to get that done. Okay, let's go back while we wait for more money. How's this going? Yep, there's another one that we just missed at B2 this time. It's really interesting. I think it's just straggling passengers, to be honest. I think there's nothing wrong with any. We don't have any queues. We don't have any struggles to get people through where they need to get through. Obviously, a lot of people getting through ticketing, but it works pretty quickly without us with too many stuff. Well, we'll assign you here as well. So if you're not actually helping someone over there, we can get you to be a little bit more efficient. That's pretty good. It's always good to kind of share that that business or first class one. Yeah, but this one is doing, yeah, it's doing the right thing. The queue there is almost busier than the queue over here. So I do wonder how many we are we are missing all the time. Okay, the day is going on pretty well. We can do our dismantle over there. Almost enough for another strip. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's look into that. Hmm. 25. 125, please. Wow, it's really pricey, these things. There we go, 125. Get the next strip started. We just slowly start to build this up, and I just want to make sure this time at the end of the day I'm not gonna pay any income tax because I'm gonna spend it all. But I might have done already. Yeah, I don't know. We make a fair bit of money during the day, so we might not have spent it all just yet. It's a pretty lucrative airport that can afford to build additions to the airport terminal based on income from a single day. That is a pretty successful airport building, I must say. Very profitable. Very, very profitable. I'm pretty keen on building this, but building roads is equally as expensive. So I'm keen to start getting this in here so this whole thing functions a little bit better. Then we'll be free to start expanding, purchase some land expansions, which is crazy busy. Crazy expensive. And then after that, I'm hoping we can start really fleshing out our terminal spaces. I don't want to make these satellites too big. I want to make like maybe 8 stands, maybe even less, maybe 6 stand satellites, so that we try and keep it as efficient as possible in the various locations. I want to keep it efficient and make sure that a cafe is serving like 6 or something like that. 6 to 8 stands is what we're going to do per terminal, per satellite terminal, and that is exactly what I'm keen on doing. Okay, it's 11 p.m. We've got a fair bit of money, but we need to make sure that there is some that'll be maintained for some other stuff. So let's pause it when it's about 10 minutes left in the day. And pause. Okay, so there's a little bit of cash that's going to come in that we haven't quite picked up on yet. I'm going to grab the dismantle tool and we'll get rid of that little internal wall. Okay, then I'm going to have a quick look at where we're standing for the day. Today we've already not made money. Okay, so the retail is doing pretty well, but our money is we've already not made any money. So, but I'm pretty keen on just continuing the spend in a slow and steady pace, something like that, for instance, because we will still pay a little bit of taxes, so that strip can start being spent on. Okay, guys, that's where I'm going to end this episode. What I'll do in between episodes, I'll quickly finish off this piece. And then in the next episode, we'll start laying out this little piece over here to get things to work. What is going on over here? No toolboxes are available. I'm assuming there are some toolboxes available. Okay, but anyway, in the next episode, let's quickly go back and just see what our final position was for yesterday before we end the day. Oh yeah, that was a big loss actually. Why is that that much? It feels too much. It feels too much. Maybe we didn't make as much money as last time, but yeah, those material spends were absolutely massive, making up for what we've achieved on the previous day, the extra we had. And I'm assuming we still have no perfect bonus in sight. Yeah, okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode, and then we'll start to detail what we're going to do with this terminal building. It'll be a pretty interesting revamp that'll take us probably more than one episode, but yes, we will be getting into that. So guys, if you've liked this episode, please hit that like button. As always, I do appreciate that support. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Share it with your friends who would also kind of enjoy this kind of stuff, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.